I know the sound of genuine terror. It's not a scream, it's a whisper, flat and hollow, stripped of all color. The phone vibrated against the mahogany desk, a sound I shouldn't have heard 20 miles away. The screen read, "Maria, cleaner." I hit accept. Her breath was ragged, shallow. "Sir," she whispered, "the volume turned so low I had to strain. I can't stay here. You need to come home, now." The panic wasn't hers, it was the atmosphere around her. I felt the cold knot tighten in my stomach. Maria, a woman who scrubbed blood off hospital floors, was whispering from my suburban mansion. I didn't ask what was wrong. The tone was enough. I ended the call, grabbed my keys, and started the drive. Every mile was a calculated risk, but the speed felt necessary. Something had broken the carefully constructed silence of our home. I found Maria shaking, huddled on the front lawn next to her vacuum case. The house lights were blazing, every single one. She pointed a trembling finger toward the master bedroom. "The closet," she choked out, tears running tracks through the dust on her cheek. "I was just dusting, the top shelf, that box." I stepped over the threshold. Silence descended, heavy and deep. I moved past her, ignoring the mess of supplies, and walked into the master suite, the room built for us, for her. The closet door was ajar. On the floor, beneath where my wife kept her designer luggage, was a small, plain wooden box. It wasn't mine, it wasn't hers. It felt ancient, heavy with secret. I opened it. Inside, wrapped in silk, were 5 objects: a small chipped porcelain doll, a faded wedding photo, of her, but not with me, and 3 sets of keys, none of which matched our locks. The betrayal wasn't loud. It was immediate, solid, and undeniable. I sealed the box and placed it back exactly where Maria had left it. I paid her double, telling her only that it was a private family matter, and watched her drive away, her headlights retreating from my wreckage. My wife, Eleanor, was due back Sunday. It was only Tuesday. I had 4 days. The key to the truth was physical, tangible. It wasn't a text message or a lipstick stain. It was metal and wood. I took a photo of the faded wedding image. Her smile was authentic in that picture, unlike the one she wore for my shareholders. I spent the next day running the 3 unfamiliar keys against every lockbox and storage unit registry within a 50-mile radius. I didn't break, I didn't drink. I moved with the precision of a surgeon operating on his own heart. The internal storm was violent, a Category 5 hurricane, but the surface was plate glass. I spoke calmly on conference calls. I ate dinner alone in the kitchen. I was observing, waiting. One of the keys, the smallest brass one, finally pinged a registry match. A safety deposit box at the downtown Metropolitan Bank. Account holder? Eleanor Vance. Her maiden name. Thursday morning, I used my power of attorney, claiming an urgent financial review. The manager was apologetic, helpful. They retrieved the contents. Box 412. It was not full of stocks or bonds. It held 1 manila envelope. Inside, adoption papers, legally filed 10 years ago, long before we met, and 2 recent notarized wills. The adoption papers detailed a private arrangement for a son born 7 years before I married her, currently living in Montreal under a different surname. The wills named that son as the sole inheritor of all non-joint property, including the trust fund I had unknowingly established in her name. The porcelain doll, the photograph, the keys, they were relics of a shadow life she had perfectly maintained. A decade of lies. My marriage was the cover. My money, the security. I put the papers back, closed the box, and signed the release. My hands did not shake. The truth wasn't a shock. It was just a fact I now possessed. Sunday evening. She walked through the door, tanned and laughing about her sister's vacation. I was waiting in the great room, sitting on the leather sofa, the wooden box placed squarely on the glass coffee table between us. She froze. The laughter died, replaced by a deep, hollow sound in her chest. Her eyes darted to the box, then to the closet door. She knew. I didn't need to speak. I pushed the box toward her with one finger. "Top shelf," I said, my voice barely a rustle. Maria was very thorough. She didn't look inside. She just stared at the photograph in the box, the wedding photo with the other man. I reached into my jacket pocket, not pulling out a gun, but a sealed manila envelope, heavier than any weapon. I slid it across the glass. The bank records. Box 412, Montreal. The boy. The air left her lungs. Her face went pale, a slow, terrifying brain of color. I had taken everything from her in that second. Not money, but her control, her decade of careful deception. I stood up. No rage, no need for hysterics. The police were already on their way, summoned not for the box, but for the forged documents related to the trusts. I walked away from the room, from the house, from the life she had built on my foundation. The front door closed with a quiet click. I was free. She was simply a cost of doing business. The only mistake she made was forgetting where she hid her past.